If you haven't seen my previous videos about high fidelity music on your phones, well, there are a couple of them. I'll link all of them down in the description. You can go check them out right now or check them after watching this video, because this video is the logical continuation and the final conclusion about high fidelity music on your phone. So as you may have noticed, the missing key element in my high fidelity music on phones journey was a good DAC and amplifier for my M50X. Now, it has been a while since I made a video on the topic because it was that much harder for me to find a good DAC and amplifier. I recently ran into the Fiio Q1 Mark II, which comes with a built-in battery, is M5 certified, so it directly works with iPhones and iPads, even iPod Touches, which have the lightning adapter. It also has a 3.5mm jack unbalanced output, 2.5mm jack balanced output, 3.5mm input, and obviously a micro USB connector on the back to connect it to your phone. Also comes with a cable which is long enough to route from your PC to the DAC itself if you are using it with your computer, and yes, you can do that, use it with your computer as a DAC and AMP for your headphones. So before I talk more about the audio quality, let's quickly go over the contents of the box. Now you have the DAC and AMP unit itself, which has a built-in battery, so you don't have to charge it externally. Then you get 4 rubber bands. Now these are thick rubber bands and they come in 2 sets. One is a narrower one and another is the wider one. So the narrower one is what you would use with your iPhone 7, 8, iPhone 10, 10s, and the wider one is what you would use with your 7 Plus, 8 Plus and the 10s Max. So depending on the device, you'd use the rubber band. Now there are some YouTubers who have experimented using this with their Android phones, and it either crashes the device or drains the battery really quickly, so it is not recommended. You can check out other products from Fiio or other manufacturers. Now that is what is in the box. Talking about cables, there's a 3.5mm to 3.5mm cable. There is a micro USB to lightning cable. There is a micro USB to USB-A cable, which is much longer and not shown here because I have it connected to my computer, as well as a silicone pad which you can put between the phone and the DAC and then put the rubber bands on as I am showing here, and a carrying case. I don't know why there's a carrying case, but yeah, it's included if you want to use it. So coming to the audio output of this DAC. Now I am using Doppler, which I have previously reviewed. You can check it out here, and I'm using that to play FLAC files on my phone. Now this DAC does support DSG audio, but DSG files are huge in size. They can span anywhere from a gigabyte or more depending on the bitrate of the file itself. And although there are players for iOS which do support DSG and it kind of works with this DAC, if you have the newer iPhone 10s or 10s Max 512 GB variants, well, go for it. Unfortunately I don't, so I will stay away from it. But if that's the kind of thing you're into, it is completely supported here. Connecting this to my phone or my computer and then playing these FLAC files, the difference in audio quality is huge, and it is instantly noticeable even to the untrained ear, and I would like to say that I have a very untrained ear in this matter, but I am an enthusiast, which is why I have gone on this journey. So I wouldn't say that I'm an audiophile or anything like that, but yeah, if in this case the difference is huge. Now on the back of this DAC, there are 2 tiny switches that you can toggle. The first one is your gain setting. By default it is on low. You can change it to high if the audio output from the file itself, from the source itself, is pretty low, so you can increase the gain. I think it applies a gain of plus 5 dB. And the other one is the bass boost. Now the bass boost, in my opinion, is a bit controversial because number one, it is subjective. It kind of depends on your personal liking, and number 2, the source track you're playing, and number 2, it kind of muffles the mids and the highs and just completely boosts the low frequencies, and that is kind of a very undesirable effect for me, so I personally leave it off. The only time I did have it on though was when I was watching the Dragon Prince show on Netflix, and boy oh boy did it do wonders for that. Netflix is also one of the apps where I need to toggle the gain from low to high, so yeah, you can keep that in mind, and it is completely fine if you have to do that. it does not affect the audio quality itself in any way. That is, I'm talking about the gain switch. The bass switch, well, it's going to change a lot of things, and depending on how you like things, you may want to have it completely turned off or turn it on, depending on what track you play. Now, I have said this multiple times in the video already that this has a built-in battery, and to give you a quick idea about how long the battery lasts on a full charge, so I let the device charge fully overnight, and then I used it the entire day next day and got a little more. I think it was an hour or two maybe after that on the third day. So I would approximate it to around 12 to 14 hours of good solid listening time. And these are 12 to 14 constant listening hours. And the great thing about this is that when you connect it to your computer, it starts charging. And when you connect it to your iPhones or the iPad, what it'll do is it'll start using the internal battery, and it'll never ever use the battery from your iOS device, which is perfect because the iPhone is only supplying it the digital signal and not power as well. So perfect. Now, one thing I did notice when using this is if you have it turned off, however, it is connected to your iPhone or iPad, the audio will continue to play from your phones or iPads speakers. The moment you turn it on, the audio is routed through this unit. So if you have it off, it'll still continue to play from your phone's speakers or earpiece if you're taking a call, and same goes for the iPad. Another thing to keep in mind is that Windows does not natively support high sampling rates and bit rates, so you may want to have to kind of dig around with drivers and stuff. Fiio has great support articles on how to enable this and get it up and running. However, on macOS it is completely plug and play, as you can see here, and all the bit rates and all the sampling rates are directly supported out of the box without having to require any external key extensions or stuff like that. So you just plug it in and macOS supports it out of the box. So in conclusion, this does seem like a device that is primarily catered towards iOS, and macOS maybe that's kind of a dodgy area, so I wouldn't go there. But iOS, yes, it has M5 certification and it is designed to work with iOS devices. There is also a micro USB to Lightning cable included for compatibility. So in conclusion, if you are on this same journey like I was, where you want high fidelity music on the go, you want it on your phone, well, a couple of ingredients for this: a good pair of headphones. Now this has kind of, making me want to upgrade from the M50X to something a lot better. So that is something I'll consider in the future, probably next year. Number two, you need a source device to play this on. The iPhone 10 is my choice of device for this purpose. Number three, you need the DAC and AMP itself. And number four, you need some really good quality audio files of your choice. And once you assemble all these four, I think you have a great setup on your hands. And I think I spent a good deal this week listening to more music than I have ever in a month. So, and this is, I think this is only the 6th day of this month, and I'm very certain I have never spent this much time listening to music in my life in 6 days. I'm absolutely positive. And if you are convinced by this, I'll leave my affiliate links to buy all of these things in the description: the headphone, the DAC and AMP, the iPhone. And these are affiliate links, they give me a kickback. So if you buy using those, thumbs up. Thank you very much. And I think I am in a pretty solid place until next year, when if I decide to upgrade my headphones. So if you have recommendations for headphones, do drop them in the comments. I'm upgrading from the M50X for reference. And if you have any other thoughts or questions, I'll see you down in the comments. While you're down there, hit the like button. If you like this video, hit the dislike button, or just tell me if you didn't like something about the video in the comments. And if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.